Hotel brothers and sisters, welcome back to African Metaphysical Center for Spiritual Healing and Body, Mind, and Spirit Development. I am your host, Dr. Daryl Greer, metaphysical practitioner, Reiki master, and Qigong instructor. Today's lesson is going to be on the kingdom of heaven, mystically and psychologically understood. You know, I have gone to college to be a theologian, to bring the word to the masses until I learned the truth from where it came from and how the teachings or lessons were meant to be understood. These were ancient teachings way before the characters of the Bible even existed. And for this information is out, and this information is out there. If only you had eyes to see and ears to hear. But I am going to share with you this teaching as I would if I would have continued on my path to become a pastor. And with this said, throughout the New Testament, there is more said by Yeshua about the kingdom of heaven by far than about any other subject of which he spoke. This, of course, makes sense when one considers that he told the disciples to go forth into the world and teach the gospel of the kingdom of heaven. The reason for all of this was that Yeshua, who whole presentation of the spiritual reality rested upon the concept and the reality of the kingdom of heaven. About 2,000 years ago, during the character's lifetime on earth, Yeshua told people the kingdom of heaven is at hand. He also stated, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Above all else that Yeshua communicated to people was the importance he placed on the kingdom of heaven. Now, Yeshua put this emphasis on the kingdom of heaven because more than anything else, it was the greatest spiritual value that he could bring to the people. Now, unfortunately, after his passing from this world, the concept of the kingdom of heaven became meaninglessness in comparison to what Yeshua initially meant it to be. You see, traditional religion, specifically Roman Catholicism, in order to play on the fears of its followers, chose to present the kingdom of heaven to them as an afterlife or after death place where people went if they were good according to the tenets of the Catholic Church. With few exceptions, most Roman Catholics, as well as traditional and fundamentalist teachings, still stress or emphasize the kingdom of heaven as an after-death place or reward if one is good according to the teachings of one's faith. How many tickets to paradise Catholic priests sold to guilt-ridden parishioners wishing special privileges and priestly intervention in their final days in order that they might enter the kingdom of heaven can only be surmised. In his lifetime, Yeshua realized that he could never say enough in regard to explain the kingdom of heaven. This is why, as previously stated, there is more said by Yeshua about the kingdom of heaven than any other subject in the New Testament. While he spoke a great deal on the kingdom, he also spoke on it in parables, realizing that only a few in his day were at a point of understanding or overstanding where they could grasp the profound psychological and mystical significance and reality of what the kingdom of heaven really is. Yeshua realized that in speaking to the people in his day, he was trying to convey what would only appear to the multitude as a mystical abstract, rather than have the reality criticized unfairly, which is casting his pearls before the swine. He chose instead to speak of the kingdom in parables, concluding his discourse with, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." And even 2,000 years later, there are many who would scoff at or be critical of the true meaning of the kingdom of heaven, as Yeshua had preferred it to be understood. Yet, in spite of the religious superstition of Roman Catholicism in this regard that persists to this day, and the subsequent parroting of the same ridiculousness by traditional, non-thinking, or mystically unaware religions that followed in Roman Catholicism footsteps, there is now an opportunity to bring forth the greater reality of the kingdom of heaven as Yeshua had meant it to be understood. This opportunity now exists due to the fact that greater numbers of traditional followers in the laity of Roman Catholicism and like-thinking religions are better educated and thus more apt to ask questions or challenge the so-called authority of Roman Catholic and similar Christian sects. The education spoken of here is not limited to academic pursuits, no, but also to increasing study by laypersons about the nature of life and spirit found in metaphysics. Enormous amounts of printed material in book form and information on the internet are available for numerous non-traditional sources. Many of these books books attempted to explain more of what Yeshua really meant by the kingdom of heaven. Mass media, particularly television, has played a major role in bringing into many people's home programming that deals with life's greatest mysteries, thus stimulating the consciousness of vast numbers of people to want to know or to be open to seeking. A spirit field of adventure, to know what is unknown, to explore and to discover exists in today's world as it did not 2,000 years ago, except for a very few. This is why Yeshua revealed concepts of the kingdom of heaven can be at hand for countless millions in today's world who would and do have the openness of mind and awareness of spirit to understand the profoundness of what the kingdom of heaven really is. And as I stated before, all is not called to understand this truth, not at this time. Entering the kingdom of heaven daily during physical life encompasses the following values, which is why Yeshua so emphasized it above all else. This includes the gaining of direct knowledge that the presence of the Creator or universal intelligence or spirit does indeed exist, as well as the gaining of direct knowledge that other planes or dimensions of consciousness beyond the physical do exist, thus making the continuance of life beyond the physical a reality. In addition, the contacting of the supreme creative universal intelligence or the creator within, and through the contact, an intuitively led conscious mind for living one's life in this physical world. Finally, a oneness of mind and spirit with the creator or the higher mind, which together with intuitive wisdom becomes inner unity, and which translates itself into compassion and humanitarian love, or that which can give peace individually and to the world. Until next time, stay safe. Ashe, ashe, ashe.